Hi everybody, I'm Catenya McHenry. Here are my top tips for making sure you look your best when you're shooting anything online. We have crossed a new frontier where a lot of us are working from home, a lot of us are working remotely, and so these are my top tips for how to make sure you look good when you're shooting anything. This is great for shooting any meetings in Teams, when you're doing anything in Zoom, when you're doing any kind of Skype interviews, any kind of online interviews, and these tips are also great for any online teaching. So my first tip, make sure you have good lighting. It's very important that you can be seen. It's very important that you look crisp and sharp. I use a ring light. This I bought from Amazon several years ago, and it's been fantastic. I think it's now sold out on Amazon, but I'll have a link in here of another place you can buy a great ring light, and actually it's on sale right now. This one comes with a tripod. It also has fantastic settings that you can turn the light up or down. It also has a great feature where you can secure your iPhone or any kind of phone that you're shooting with, any kind of smartphone. It has a great tripod on the inside of the light that secures your phone. Tip number 2, make sure that you are not sitting where you have windows behind you. Windows behind you will backlight you, and that means that no one will be able to see you. You want the light in front of your face. So if you can set up in a space that has windows, where the windows are in front of you, where you're looking at windows, that helps you take advantage of as much natural light as possible. Natural light mixed with the ring light is very attractive to anything you're shooting online. If you have a light above you, turn those lights off. Most people have fluorescent lights, which no one looks good in fluorescent lights. So make sure you turn the overhead lights above you off, use a ring light, and make sure that you have windows in front of you to take advantage of as much natural light as possible. Tip number 3, make sure the camera that you're shooting with is clean. If you're using your laptop camera or if you're using another portable external camera, make sure it's clean. You can use a cloth to clean it. That just clears any smudges off of it, obviously, and also gives you a more crisp, sharp look. Tip number 4, when you're setting up, make sure your shot is framed. So you want to make sure you have enough headroom at the top. You should have just a few inches above your head. That gives you enough headroom, and so your shot looks even and it looks framed very well. Tip number 5, when you are shooting, make sure you're shooting at eye level. You never want to be looking down at your audience so that they can see of your nostrils, and then you never want to be looking up like this. So make sure the laptop or whatever you're shooting with is at eye level so that your audience feels like you're looking directly at them and you're speaking directly at them. And if you're doing online teaching, just make sure that you're aware of your audience and that you're connecting with your audience by making sure you're looking into your camera when you're speaking. My next tip is to make sure you have a good background. So be aware of what in your house or in your space looks good. White walls always pop, but also make sure you have a good background, because again, that makes you what you're saying more engaging, and also just it's nice to have some design features behind you. So if you have a wall that has a bookshelf, sit in front of that, or a wall that has some art on it. I put this up just a few days ago. I'm meaning to hang this, so I just put this up. But make sure you're aware of what your background looks like as well. My next tip is when you're in team meetings or when you're in a group meeting, be aware of your facial expressions, because if you have your camera on, they can see your face. So be aware of your RBF. If you don't know what that is your resting bitch face. Some people have a resting bitch face. That's when you're just your face, you're not smiling, and your face is just, calm and solemn. A lot of people just, when they have a RBF, they look like they smell something really bad. So just be aware of your facial expressions and your gestures and what your face is doing, because that is communicating information and that is communicating messages as well. So if you can have a constant smile, or just, you don't have to have a big smile, but just a smile, that calms your audience, and it also helps you connect with your audience, and it helps your audience know that you're paying attention to them even though you can't see them. So just be aware of what your face is doing. Over and above anything else is to just have fun and be confident with the information that you are delivering. You know your material, you're just delivering it in a different way. You don't have that immediate feedback from your classroom and from your audience. That's okay. You still know the material, have confidence in what it is you're delivering, and just be forgiving. Forgive yourself. There will be technical issues. Things won't go right the first time around. That's okay. Keep working through it. The doorbell may ring in the middle of teaching your class. The dog may bark. The kids may be running behind you. That's okay. Just keep going forward. We all have to give each other a little bit of grace as we go forward in this new way of life that we're in the midst of right now. And just know you are not alone in what it is that you're doing. There are thousands of other people who are in the same environment, the same space, and are trying to figure out how to do this. So know that you are not alone, and just remember, just have fun. Don't be too hard on yourself as you do this. Just speak to your audience, connect with your audience, and just remember, think of it as you were talking to a friend of yours, your mom, your dad. You're explaining to them what it is you're doing, and just remember to be as engaging as you possibly can. Well, that's all my tips. If you like this video, be sure to like it, share it, comment, whatever it is. Just if you have something nice to say, say it. If you don't have anything nice to say, then don't say nothing at all. Just be kind online, okay? Thank you so much for watching, you guys. I'll see you next time.